I feel like I've waited 6 long winters to say barbecue season is officially upon us. You can elevate your burgers and dogs with these beautiful homemade buns. One bite of pillowy perfection and you might never go back to the store-bought version again. Vaughn is joining me to share the recipe. We're both sitting here hands in pockets, just enjoying the summer that is coming toward us. You say these are way better than what we'll find in the plastic bag.
Once you make these, you may never buy store-bought again.
Really?
They are so tender, buttery, soft. If you want that gourmet showstopper burger, this is the bun for it.
Well, I often think we put so much time and effort and money into, you know, those awesome patties and all of the fixins, only then to slap them on a
cheap buns.
Thank you.
It's gross.
It's gross. Why are we doing this to ourselves every
treat
summer?
yourself, and this is so easy.
Okay, all right, and it's a brioche dough?
Yeah, so a brioche dough, as opposed to a lean dough, is just a fancy word for a dough that's really enriched in all these really yummy fatty ingredients. Butter, sugar, milk, eggs, your primary food groups.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. She's my girl.
And so that just helps provide this tender, pull-apart dough that will really envelop your burger.
All right,
so that's what we're after here.
Student, teach us.
Super easy. So to mix the dough together, you just take some warm milk.
Why warm?
Warm is going to help activate that yeast. Warm milk and sugar. Yeast loves warmth and sugar. So your milk is going to be about baby bath water temperature, about 110 degrees.
Okay.
Not too hot, not too cold, just right.
Just right,
And so milk, sugar, yeast, super easy. Eggs, I'm throwing in a couple whole eggs and an egg yolk. That egg yolk is where all that fatty is. And so that's we're going to an extra level of tenderness.
Okay.
It's really, there's no like wrong order to throw this in. That's how easy it is. We're plopping in some butter. Some salt.
You probably have this recipe memorized. Back of my hand.
Make it a lot.
Ladies, yeah.
And then here's where the dough really shines. The #1 mistake that I see people make with their homemade doughs, whether it's a sandwich dough, like a sandwich bread dough, cinnamon rolls, any kind of soft, tender dough like that, the place that we kind of ruin it for ourselves is we add too much flour. So I'm gonna quickly mix this up and show you when to stop adding flour, because that's gonna be the deal breaker for us.
Okay.
Oftentimes we add way too much, and what happens if we add too much flour is all of a sudden in an instant we can get a tough, drier dough. And you spend all this time.
I have this hilarious memory. It's my grandma Betty. Love her. Neither one of us belonged in the kitchen, really, at that point in our lives. I love you, Grandma, I do. But we tried to make bread one day, and it ended up being, you know, to your point, too much flour. Just way too much flour. It was a brick.
Yeah, and so you spend all this time and all this money. These are, you know, butter, sugar, some good ingredients.
We still baked it. We still ate it. We were determined.
Anything homemade, you know,
bread.
as long as it's warm, it's fine.
Yeah.
But if you can take a pause and spend the extra second to slow down and get that flour, you will be super, super happy.
Okay.
So what we're looking for is a soft, almost sticky dough. So all you have to do is once you mix it up, we're gonna touch it. It's gonna be soft and sticky, and that's what we're gonna look for.
Okay. Soft and sticky is the goal.
Soft and sticky, almost tacky. Like it's not gonna be wet and stick to our fingers.
Okay.
But it's not gonna be tough.
Okay.
Even when you use a scale, a lot of people think, well, I'll just weigh it and it's gonna be a perfect measurement with the recipe. Every brand of flour weighs a little bit differently. The humidity, the altitude, there's so many variables. And so
you've got to go with that touch test.
Even when you weigh it, that's a really, really good starting point.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, your fingers and your eyes are gonna be the best judge, even more than the scale.
All right. We've got a quick minute left, Lori. Catch us through to the finish line with this one.
Okay. So what we're looking for here, and I could have added a little bit more flour, but for time, this is a little bit wet. But it's gonna be soft and tacky.
Yeah.
So it's not sticking to us.
So you'll test it throughout the mixing process and just make sure you're going for that consistency.
I'm gonna slide these aside really quick. Let's show you how to form them.
Yeah. They're beautifully shaped, and they have this gorgeous gloss that I think I have to talk about as well.
Yes, for sure. The gloss comes in after you form them. So we mix the dough, we let it rise.
For how long?
For about an hour until it doubles in size. Then you get this soft pillow. It's like a memory foam pillow.
Gosh.
Yes, right?
Yes, it is.
You're gonna cuddle up with it at night.
Yes, it is. Here,
Thank you. Get that out of the way.
Yeah.
So how to form it into a hamburger bun. It makes about 8 hamburger buns or about 12 hot dogs.
Okay.
Find the soft part of the dough. Take the edges and push in the seams.
Okay.
And then seam side down, you're gonna take the cup of your hand and build a little tension in the dough. I didn't even need to put flour down because it's such a buttery dough.
Look at that.
So you have this nice round ball. Go ahead and give it a small press with your hand.
Yes.
And then nice and round.
Voila.
Really, really quick. I'll show you a quick hot dog bun.
Okay, please.
So
Our hot dogs are getting improved too.
Right.
This is a 1-2 punch.
So you just take a small section of dough, about a half a foot, about 6 inches. Roll it into a rectangle, and then you're going to just roll it up.
Oh, look at that tension you talked about.
Yep, and then take your hand again, give it a little roll. Make sure you tuck the ends under so they don't kind of pull apart like, you know, your croissants do sometimes. Don't want that. And you kind of have this long, we could make it a little bit longer, this long hot dog bun. And they poof up. They're gonna rise and get bigger.
Okay.
And just be pillowy and wonderful.
Bake, and then how do we gloss?
Right before you throw it in the oven, you're gonna brush it with an egg wash, which is just egg and water mixed together. And you're just gonna brush the tops gently.
Okay.
And voila.
Laura, you're
Put
the best
it in the
teacher.
oven, 375, about 18 minutes. You can make them ahead, they freeze well. So really a day or two in advance, even before the barbecue, and you can have amazing homemade results.
I am taking this on as my summer challenge. You were a fabulous teacher. Thank you so much. Where can we learn more from you?
Yeah, on my website, I have a ton of free recipes. This recipe included, lowskitchenco.com. And if you're on Instagram, I also share a ton of tips there, Lowe's Kitchen Co.
Lowe's Kitchen Co. We'll link you from our website